This is the Naked Health Warriors podcast, where we strip back our health the way nature intended. Presenting author and personal motivator Harriet Worth, bringing you the latest health discoveries from experts in their field so you can live a healthy, happy life where you love your body. Discover more at www.harrietworth.com.
Hello and welcome to today's podcast. Today we have the amazing Claudia Conaglen from New Zealand. I'm so excited to talk to her. She has been living in Bali for 8 years. She's back in New Zealand now. She's extraordinary. She's extraordinary in her skills. Number one, she's a great fashion designer. She loves all things fashion. She's been a model in the past also. You may recognize her from being on The Bachelor New Zealand, which I'm sure we'll go into a little bit today. And one of her personal loves is writing blogs about all things health, which is why we have her on today. Welcome, Claudia.
Hi.
Hey, awesome. Welcome. And I would love for you to give a brief intro about yourself, your businesses, and what you're up to right now.
Well, I have recently just moved back to New Zealand. I've been living in Bali for the past 8 years now. Whilst I was in Bali, I was doing fashion designing, modeling, and surfing a lot, so doing lots of outdoor sports. And then I moved back to New Zealand at the start of this year to start filming The Bachelor. And since coming out of The Bachelor, I've decided to get more into blogging about health and fitness and starting up my own 7.2 business about alkalizing selling protein products and making bliss balls, educating people in New Zealand to live a healthy lifestyle.
Oh, that's exciting. Awesome. I'm loving hearing about that you're going to touch some more lives in New Zealand. We absolutely love doing the same thing too, so that's cool. What is the most really exciting thing for you right now in your health business?
Well, I'm creating an ebook full of health recipes, fitness workouts, and ways to change the way you think to a more positive way. So I'd love to help mentor not only just young kids, young adults, and everyone about how your mood, what you eat, how you think is all to do with your mind. So if you have a healthy mind, it creates a healthy lifestyle. So it's kind of like clearing all the bad negative things out of your life, whether it's like eating for like bad habits, like eating bad food, or even friends that might be, stopping you from having a good, happy lifestyle.
Awesome. That's really cool. Sounds amazing. I would love for you to share with the listeners. You see, there's a lot of people who listen and, they may not have had the very best upbringing. They may have had some things that have happened to them, maybe negative, maybe some positive, but I'd love for you to share your story so you can help outline the fact that sometimes your past doesn't necessarily have to equal your future.
Yeah, well, growing up, I had no idea about healthy food. I used to eat McDonald's, chips, chocolates, and fizzy drinks every day. Thank God for my genes, as I never was overweight. The one thing my mum always did was get us to dance, play lots of sports. As I got older, I used to drink and party a lot, which is not good for my health and well-being, and I gained a lot of weight, and so it affected my work as a model, which wasn't really good. And then at the age of 22, I moved to Bali. I got really skinny due to the heat and going swimming a lot. But the one thing I learned was while I was there, I was eating lots of Indonesian food because it was cheap and I really loved it. But it took a toll on my body because all the MSG in Indonesian food, MSG, monosodium glutamate, is not real. It's like full of chemicals, and it broke down my immune system. And then I found out I was allergic to 35 different things, from eggs and chicken and mold, dust, everything. I developed all these allergies due to MSG breaking down my immune system. And then I spent over $10,000 on natural doctors, and over time I grew out of these allergies due to a healthy diet and exercise. So I definitely realized your health is your wealth.
Yeah. Wow, awesome. There's so many people, and I'm sure you completely resonate. There's so many people that have no idea that these things are even affecting them. How did it show up for you? I mean, you say you're allergic to 35 different things. Did it come on, like, was it headaches? Were you feeling sick? Was lethargy? What were the symptoms for you?
Well, it all started was like in 2009. My girlfriends came to Bali, and one was gluten intolerant and one was dairy intolerant. I didn't even know what that meant, and I thought it was just some fitness fad. And then a month later, I was just eating the normal chicken, rice, and sambal, which is sweet chili sauce, and my lips swelled up and my tongue swelled up, and I've gone into anaphylactic shock 3 times where the back of my throat swells up and I can't breathe, or I get hives all over my legs and rashes. So yeah, it's quite dangerous actually. It's not tolerance, it's an allergy for me.
Wow, that must have been pretty scary, especially in Bali. I'm sure I'm hoping that you had some good people around you to make sure that you were supported through that.
Yeah, well, I spent a lot on my health, so that's why today I'll rather spend the money on eating healthy food instead of, back then I was so young, I didn't understand that eating cheaply really does affect you in the long run, because then you spend a lot at the doctors.
Yeah, that's right, of course. Awesome. Very true. What would you say has been the hardest, like most grueling health challenge for you, up until this point in your life?
Well, definitely my allergies, but then also finding out I have PCOS at the age of 26. If you don't know what that is, it's polycystic ovaries. So yeah, that kind of scared me to think that I may not be able to have kids. And yeah, I kind of didn't even know I had it. I went off the pill and gained lots of weight, and it affected my work being a model back then. So it's all about, yeah, definitely eating the right diet for me. Not everyone has to be gluten free, but I like to not put lots of gluten in my body, and less meat and more vegetables and fruits and stuff.
Awesome, exciting. And are you a advocate for polycystic ovarian syndrome, or do you spread your message about health for other women with those problems at all?
I haven't started it because I only found out a couple of years ago. I don't really know too much about it. I've just been researching more for myself. I haven't really spread the message about that yet. Yeah.
Fair enough. I know there's a lot of, we've got a few people in our programs, and, one of the things that they love giving up is sugar through the sugar-free and sickly program, because they find when they've got polycystic ovarian syndrome, they find that their body reacts to when they have a lot of sugar, and it flares up and they feel even worse. So it's cool that hopefully you'll start sharing that message, because a lot of people say that it gets worse with diet. So that's super cool.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's quite common, like 1 in every 8 women or 1 in 10 women have it. So yeah, I'm not the only one out there, that's for sure.
Definitely not. And I know through a lot of small changes and adaptations, these things can be manageable, because obviously it's not a very nice thing to be handed when you're a young woman with a future ahead of yourself.
Yeah, no, because I definitely would love to have kids. So I guess like right now it's all about training, definitely like yoga and light weights and stuff at the gym, resistance training. Yeah.
Awesome. Resistance training and heading to the gym and eating good food. That's some good tips. What would you say are your 3 greatest healthy living lessons that you would love to pass along and pass over to our listeners?
Well, the number 1 is your health is your wealth. That's definitely, my mum always taught me that, because if you're not healthy, how can you work or, to be able to make money to live? So yeah, health is very important. And then 2 is to eat good quality food. As I learned through the whole allergy thing, that it is important to spend what you can on, buying good quality food, like organic food or whatever you like to eat. But I remember being in Hawaii, my girlfriend was buying a $3 burger, and I was like, oh, we're about to go to this awesome vegan cafe. Why don't you eat later on with us there? And she was like, well, should rather spend the extra money on clothing. So each to their own, but I'd rather spend my money on food.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
And the last but not least is it's important to be alkaline. So eating lots of food that is alkaline for your body is very important, because if you're eating acidic food, meat and coffee and all of that changes and affects your mood and your sleep quality. But when you eat food that's more alkaline, you definitely have more energy, your skin is brighter and clearer, and your mood's, more happier. So that's the third most important thing.
Nice. I love it. So listeners, number one, your health is absolutely your wealth. And I love that. And I love that it's your mum that passed that on to you. Mums are great for stuff like that. Number two, eating food that's not only fantastic, but really good quality food. As well as it tasting good, it being great quality. Absolutely love that too. And I hope that your friend is going to be someone who's going to be looking at your blogs and maybe taking a little bit of heed of some of the steps that you're taking. And last but not least, number three, alkaline, avoiding acidic food so you can improve your mood and your sleep quality. Brilliant. Do you have any sort of like models that you love to live by in your life? For example, a piece of advice that was handed down to you from a mentor, or something that you just simply believe leads people to having more optimum levels of health?
Well, to me, your health is your greatest asset, because without your health, you can't really do much. And I like to be happy, and when I'm healthy, I'm very happy. But when I'm sick or I'm eating the wrong foods, I get really tired and grumpy. So yeah, definitely your health is your greatest asset.
Nice. And how do you find that you maintain that? You see, we get a lot of people talking about food preparation being really important. A lot of people get, things like the New Zealand food bag delivered. What's your best advice for helping people stay on that wagon?
Well, it's different for everyone. I have a fast metabolism, so I eat 6 to 8 times a day, small meals, because I'm only 5'2" and 50 kilos. So I just eat small amounts of food 6 times a day, and I like to exercise 45 minutes a day at the least. That's very important, is eating well and in small portions and exercising.
Nice. I love that you mentioned small portions. So many of us, we start the day with a tiny little meal, and then they have lunch and it's like a bit bigger, and then they have dinner and it's huge, and then they're sitting with all this food in their stomach, and they're wondering why the fat is accumulating around their stomach and their organs, which is obviously quite dangerous. So I love your message. I believe that it's a really powerful thought to just literally have smaller meals throughout the day and actually burn off the energy that you're eating.
Yeah.
Cool. So if you were to travel back in time, let's say maybe 10, 15 years, and you were to meet yourself on the street, Claudia, what would you tell yourself, your past version of yourself?
Well, if I could go back in time 20 years, because I'm 30 now, I'd only be 10, and I would tell myself to eat more fruit and vegetables, to not compare myself to others, like whether it's skin color, height, weight, or looks, because I remember being 10, I wanted to have white skin, because my mum's Spanish Filipino, my dad's Irish Kiwi, so I'm very mixed, and I have olive skin. And yeah, as I grew older, I've learned to love my skin. People pay a lot of money to get a spray tan and buy all that fake tan. So yeah, it's to learn to love yourself, not compare yourself to others. And definitely financial education is important to your younger self, and teaching you about how to manage your finances as a child, and to exercise a lot, because these days kids are all on their iPads and laptops and computer games. But yeah, thank God our generation back then, we did have a TV, but we didn't have all of that.
Nice. And thank you so much for bringing up such a powerful conversation topic, not comparing yourself to others. It's so strange, isn't it, to even anticipate the fact that we could want the same as what someone else has, yet we have a totally different life, a totally different upbringing, whether it's finances, relationships, the way that we look. Is there ever been a time in your life where you have been a slave, just like I have as well, to wanting what someone else has, or wanting the same feeling, or wanting the same amount of success as someone else that's led you down a path?
Well, my mum used to make us enter beauty pageants as a kid, and I think competing against other women for your looks is not really a good thing. I mean, it definitely helped though with confidence, being up out on stage, and it helped with public speaking, answering questions, and replying with answers, and introducing yourself on stage. But I don't think it's a good thing, like as a child, always having to compare yourself to other women, whether they might be on the front cover of the magazine, or you're doing a modeling job with them. Because, you know, everyone, like, I'm quite short. Some people look at me and be like, oh, how is she a model? She's only 5'2" or 3. But it's all about, you know, what looks good for you. Because for me, even though I'm short, I do more commercial modeling and editorial modeling, and the taller ones are the ones that do catwalk and stuff. So it doesn't matter what shape or size you are, you should love yourself for who you are.
Nice. That's a really cool message to share. Thank you so much. Do you feel that, obviously it was a great story, but do you feel that, you know, going from that young child where you were competing and modeling and you were able to grow your confidence on public speaking and heaps of other different things, do you feel that that made it easy for you to enter something like the Bachelor New Zealand?
Yeah, it did help me. There were other girls that were in the pageant industry and acting that did it as well. So I think the girls that have had that past background, it was easier to be in front of the camera. I had no problems with being in front of the camera. My problem was living under one roof with 23 different girls. That was the hard part. Yeah, so I had no problem. I'm not shy in front of the camera. I'm a very confident person, so I guess it did help out a lot. So there's always pros and cons to having children enter in things like that at such a young age.
Awesome. And I love that I can imagine the chaos. I can only imagine the chaos of 23 young women all on the same little bit of land, all spending the same amount of time with each other. It must have been a little bit crazy. What were your greatest takeaways from actually being in that experience of The Bachelor?
Oh, there was a lot of lessons to learn in there, but I think it's always important to have time alone in a situation like that. You don't always have to be mixing and mingling with everyone. Sometimes time alone and reflecting on what you're grateful for, because you have to remember we weren't allowed to contact our family. We didn't even have a cell phone. We had no contact from the outside world, and I haven't ever been in a situation where I've had no phone or social media for 1 month. That's a long time. Some girls went for 3 months. So every morning I used to wake up and I'd go for a 5K run alone, and usually I'd be up so early around 6, so I'd get to eat breakfast by myself. And I think sometimes spending time alone is very good as well as mixing and mingling with other people. So then you can reflect on your daily actions and be grateful for the things that you do have.
Wow, that's really cool. There's a lot of people who, well, let's face it, we live really fast-paced lives where we're dashing from one moment to another. And especially the modern woman, we're so busy that sometimes we forget to check in with ourselves. So thanks heaps for bringing that up. That's an important message for every woman who is listening to this podcast today.
I think it's very also important to be emotionally independent, because I remember coming out of a 7-year relationship a couple of years ago, and my friend said to me, oh, you're not very independent. I said, hang on a minute, I've always been financially independent when it comes to making decisions with business and travel. But I didn't realize the importance of being emotionally independent, where you always have to rely on someone else to make you happy. And I think having time alone is really good to reflect on, what does happiness mean to you, and what do you want the best out of your own life, you know, not always having, you know, you don't have to have a partner or a best friend around you to make you happy. I think the one thing that everyone should learn is, you know, you've got to take care of yourself first, make yourself happy before you can, you know, make others happy. Yeah, it's very important.
Absolutely. I love that you bring that up. We had Zach from the Raw Cave. He's a YouTuber, and he talked a little bit about, you know, it's important if you want to be able to give to others, so you need to have an overflowing cup. So we talked about the metaphor of if you're not a full person yourself, how can you ever be a person who gives to others? And as women, we naturally do. We want to help support other women. We want to do 1,000,001 things. But if you aren't taking care of you, if you aren't feeling emotionally full up, then it's very hard to come from a place of giving in your relationship, giving to your children, or starting a business, anything like that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think a lot of women don't understand the meaning of self-worth. And I think as time, I just turned 30 last month. As I grew older, I really realized what does self-worth mean to me. And that's pretty much, is definitely making time for yourself before always giving, time to help other people, because yourself is very important. You need to learn to love yourself and give yourself that time to eat healthy and do yoga and do your daily things, and then you can be happy and that to help other people.
Nice. Awesome. Well, let's begin wrapping up. The Naked Health Warriors podcast, it stands for something really special and really important. You see, we believe that getting back to the basics, Claudia, is sometimes one of the most important things. So real health, what is it to you? Because it's different for everyone. What does it mean to you, and why is getting back to what's really important to you?
Well, real health is not only to have a healthy body, but also to have a healthy mind, to think clear, happy thoughts, and to be positive. I believe what's changed my healthy living is living an alkalized lifestyle, and that's why I'm passionate so much about the 7.2 products, because ever since I started taking 7.2 2 years ago, I've realized not only my body has changed from the inside out, with my skin becoming clearer, my hair and nails growing longer and faster, but my mind is more clear and focused. When I used to eat just whatever I wanted and lots of junk food, I'd have like a very cloggy, foggy mind. So eating healthy is very important. To me, it's definitely 80% nutrition and 20% exercise. I learned that after having all my allergies, I didn't have the energy to exercise, but changing what I ate, I dropped like 10 kilos, I think it was. So definitely eating healthy is very important.
Nice. Awesome. Thanks heaps for sharing your message. So when it comes to healthy living, you see so many people. We speak to chiropractors, we speak to people who lead massive health retreats, we speak to people who own cookie brands, we speak to the works. What would you say is one healthy living golden nugget that you believe every single person should live by, whether it's water, whether it's chiropractic, whether it's sleep, whether it's getting a facial once a week? What is it for you?
Well, definitely I still think it's living an alkalized lifestyle. I believe food is a big factor to our society, and people don't realize there's a lot of acidity in food, and eventually that will deteriorate our bodies and even suffer from critical diseases. So let's start today and make a difference of change, because my partner's mum, she has diabetes, and he told me that was brought on by eating the wrong food. So I think from a young age, we really need to learn about nutrition and eating lots of fruit and vegetables, because it's going to affect us later on in life. But daily routines or weekly routines in Bali, because it was cheap, I used to get massages and do things for myself like facials. But now that I'm back in New Zealand, exercising, whether it's going to the gym or going for a bike ride, doing yoga or going for a run or a walk is very important. So I like to give myself 30 to 40 minutes a day if I'm in a rush, or an hour if I have the time to spend that time on myself, because it helps me have a healthy mind as well and get good sleep as exercising.
Nice. Some great messages. I love it. Well, let's get into the quick fire clarity round, and then we will close up. Awesome. I would love for you to share what's the best advice for your industry you've ever received.
Is to live an alkalized lifestyle and exercise every day, to drink lots of water and sleep well. That's my advice.
Nice. Can you share one of your personal habits that you believe contributes to your successful health?
Well, like I said before, is eating six small portion meals a day, and to exercise at least 30 minutes a day is my thing that I do.
Love it. What is one technological piece of equipment or app or book or training or some other tool that your body can't live without?
I can't live without my phone, but I guess I can, because in The Bachelor I did, but I just love Google, because if I ever feel that something's wrong with me, I like to kind of figure it out for myself. And so I find it hard to live without my phone. But My favorite book I can't live without is Heal Your Life by Louise Hay.
Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. I'm sure we've got some listeners that would love to get into that. Who is your hero?
And my hero is my mother. She has inspired me so much throughout my life because she's giving, caring, loving, and happy. So, yeah, she's taught me that.
Nice. That's beautiful. What is your favorite movie?
The Notebook. I'm a very romantic person, so I love that movie.
That's so sweet. Awesome. That's brilliant. What is your favorite fruit?
Oh, mangoes, probably. Mangoes or pineapples. I've lived in the tropics for nearly 10 years now, so yeah, I definitely love tropical fruit.
Nice. And your favorite drink?
Is coconut water. I drink a coconut water every day.
Nice. And what do you believe the health industry is missing? What does the world need most in order to change?
Education on health, like reading labels, the back of a product, alkalization, natural eating, and humbleness. I feel like these days I walk into some gyms and all those guys and girls that are got the best looking body. Sometimes people think being fit and healthy is about having the best looking body and being muscly or skinny and toned, and I don't believe it's that necessarily, because not everyone, people have thyroid issues or PCOS, so not everyone can look a certain way. So to be humble about your health is very important, and what you look like. And to have a positive mindset as well, that's very important.
Nice, that is very true. And lastly, who do you believe would be 3 brilliant people that we've got to get on this podcast?
Well, most of my friends in New Zealand are all in the health and fitness industry. Jade McCannon, she's a personal trainer at Les Mills. She's got quite a huge following on Instagram, so she'll be great to talk to. Paul Ijam, my partner, he's all about living a healthy, alkalized lifestyle, and he likes to train and exercise every day, and he actually works in insurance, so he's always says that health is definitely very important for your work and well-being. It's your greatest asset. And either Naz from The Bachelor, she's about to I think she's doing junk-free June, but she's also about to compete in a boxing match, so she's all into her sports. And Jamie Best, she's got her own fitness brand, and yeah, she's another one on Instagram that has a big following and is definitely into her health.
Awesome. Brilliant. Absolutely love it. That's a heap load of value. Totally appreciate it. Is there anything, Claudia, that you would love to part with the audience with today? Is there a message that you'd like to share, or anything that you'd like to leave the listeners with?
Well, I hope you guys all remember that your health is your wealth. So please start today by trying to eat as much fruit and vegetables as you can. Currently, I'm doing junk-free June. Everybody's different. Some girls from The Bachelor gave up coffee, another girl gave up refined sugar, but for me, I gave up 3 things for this month, which is red meat, dairy, and refined sugar. So it's been hard at social events when there's cakes or at a birthday or whatever, but I'm all about creating a healthy, alkalized lifestyle. So to get rid of those 3 things for the month is going to do my body great. And next month I'll be doing Dry July, so I'm going to be ambassador for that as well. So yeah.
Nice. Amazing. Totally appreciate you, Claudia. You've shared so much from your experience. Personally, I have loved hearing about confidence. Some of your takeaways from The Bachelor have been brilliant. Being emotionally independent, and obviously your greatest message of health being your wealth. Thank you so much for being on the Naked Health Warriors podcast. Listeners, tune in again for more podcasts just like these, where we're interviewing modern day women who are making a change and shifting paradigms when it comes to your health and wealth. Bye for now.
You've been listening to the Naked Health Warriors, where we strip back our health to the way nature intended. Live your life, love your body, and stay tuned for more interviews just like this from Harriet Worth, founder of the Juice and Smoothie Company and best-selling author of Be Your Best and Personal Motivator. Bye for now.